Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/relationships, where OP's girlfriend is now majorly screwed, in more ways than one. Let's begin. She was never gonna stop lying. Posted by Reddit user TrySubstantial3634.
My now ex was never going to come clean when I'd bring up certain situations that the average person would come to the same assumption, because I made her life easy mode with what I was doing for her. My asks from her were well defined and didn't require too much of her, but were things that optimized my daily routine. So it behooved her to always deny, gaslight, and carpet sweep her questionable actions. Each example included below is simply an obvious sign that cannot be disputed. However, there were other signs for each situation that paint a worse picture. Since I didn't have indisputable proof for each, I'll refrain from mentioning it, but it should be obvious. Each situation is a completely separate situation. 1. Drunk texting neighbor late at night. 2. Drunk texting her boss late at night. 3. Missing condoms. I remember 30 plus 1.5 years prior, now there was only 26. 4. I split. She immediately downloads dating app, starts talking to dude. Trauma bond makes me come back a week later. She tells me she matched with someone and they've been talking on her own, which was a welcome surprise to hear her being forthcoming. I just tell her, but phrase it as a question. You gonna tell him you are unavailable now and stop texting, right? She says absolutely. Come to find out, after verifying myself, days later, she was texting hundreds of messages from 9 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. in one day alone. Mind you, I stopped there and didn't continue scrolling. Left and finally told myself enough with this. Despite any feelings of guilt for leaving her, and her young daughter in a financial state where they can't afford the rent alone, I'm not on lease, I'm gone and not looking back. I really care for her daughter, she's a great kid. Unfortunately, her actions just cost her daughter a stable life. Supporting them would be a small piece of pie, but maybe throwing her in the end of the pool is what she needs to grow up. TLDR, X has screwed up too many times and would deny regardless of the number of signs brought up. I can understand why she would lie. I offered her too much security. Even if my assumptions are all wrong, the parts that are indisputable are still enough for me to split.
Unfortunately, there are just some people that need that thrill. If they were settled, then they would look somewhere else. They never work on the relationship that they are in. And I'm glad that you got out of that kind of relationship, OP. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm really sad about the daughter. It's gonna be very hard on her, but I don't see any way that you can avoid that. Her mom is fucking toxic, and eventually that toxicity would destroy you. We all reach a point that we have to save ourselves. You can't set yourself on fire just to keep others warm. In the end, all things that could happen are just consequences of her stupid actions. I hope the daughter would turn out to be someone better. And now for today's second story. What a difference a year makes. Posted by Reddit user VapeLifeOdd is new.
I have had suspicions about my wife for months now. I have expressed my concerns and fears over this time, and she has reassured me, but nothing in her odd behavior has changed. Today, I had to do something on her phone to make sure it's ready for trade-in, and I took a minute to snoop. I'm not sure if I was hoping to finally confirm my fears or put my mind at ease, but my fears were confirmed. There are definitive statements that she fucked him one afternoon not too long ago, and she loves him. I showed her what I saw, and she admitted it. We have things to deal with for the kids right now, so the discussion is on hold. I don't know where to go from here. Is it even worth having a discussion? How can I believe anything she says to me? I'm questioning so much right now, and feel like so much of the last 12 years of my life is up in the air. After spending the last couple days dissecting the last year and all the lies, deceit, and other bullshit, I realized that my wife hasn't worn her rings in months. At the time she stopped, her reasoning was because of her weight gain. Now that I'm seeing everything in a new light, in previous episodes of weight gain she had always put them on a chain to still have with her. I can't help but feel my own ring is tainted now and represents all the betrayal I've experienced. So for the first time in over 12 years, I'm not wearing it. It's been a wild ride since I discovered my soon-to-be ex-wife was having an affair. Well, today the signed divorce agreement was filed with the courts and should be finalized in 30 days. Those first couple weeks were a crazy roller coaster of emotions, but I ultimately decided I'd rather have the unknown potential misery of being alone than the misery of knowing I was with someone who could do those things to me. I had to make a couple concessions to keep things moving fast, but overall, I'm pleased and not quite as financially destroyed as I thought I would be. I should get to keep the house. That will be up to the bank now, and so far we're surviving the co-parenting stuff. Soon to be ex-wife, and I still have to live in our house together for about 2 more months. So no contact has been nearly impossible. In the interest of moving on as fast as possible, I have decided to not give a fuck about anything she does and spend my time caring about my kids and myself. As a result, we found ourselves getting along more peacefully and quietly watching a show on the DVR together. Tonight we ended up having some real conversations, and she ended up confessing that her emotional affair had in fact turned physical a few times before she got caught, as well as a few times in the 4 years since then. My lesson to take into the future is to trust my gut. One of the encounters she told me about was a night that I had long had suspicions about. This knowledge is having a mixed impact on me at the moment. For the past couple months, I've been saying my biggest regret is not leaving when I found out about the emotional affair, and that regret is now deepened. On the flip side, I feel a sense of vindication that it's okay to act on my feelings and gut when I know something is off, and I have to trust myself at least as much as I trust others. Sorry for the rambling. It does help to write this down and get some perspective. 1 year has passed since D-Day and things are going very well. I just looked at my old posts, and I'm so glad I didn't let my fears of financial loss or the kids having a broken home stop me from doing what needed to be done. Managed to get the divorce done quick and keep the house. I had to keep some debt too, and my interest rate went up, so I took a hit financially, but I'm not destroyed like I thought would happen. The kids seem to be doing well with the transition, and given the way their summer and school schedules work out, I get to see them almost every day even if they don't spend the night with me, which they do at least half the time. As you could tell if you look at my comment history, Chump Lady gives my favorite advice. I'm not perfect at following it, but I have built up a life and removed FW from it significantly. She still causes the occasional issue, but it doesn't bother me now that I have zero expectations of her. I did the online dating thing and met a wonderful woman, and we've been together for nearly 6 months now. It has been eye-opening to be with someone who isn't in it just for themselves. I finally feel like I have a partner and can't wait to explore more of life with her. The kids got to meet her a couple months ago and she fits right in. I realize I'm lucky in how smoothly things have gone so far, but I do believe happiness is possible for all of us.
OP, I've read all of your posts, and I have to say, while I know you've been through the ringer with the long-term betrayal, you maintained a strength of will and focus that had been rewarded. A well-deserved life for a well-deserving man. I wish you the best, OP. Good luck. And now, for today's final story. How do you get over your ex spreading lies about you after the divorce? Posted by Reddit user Yellow Cosmic Warrior.
So my story is I was cheated just before the marriage, but forgave. Over the marriage time I witnessed her occasionally flirting at party, and when I challenged her on the way back home, I was always told I overreact. I promised to myself that when it happens again, I quit. And it happened. Flirty relationship for over a month over Instagram. They met for a date while she lied to me she would be at a coffee shop reading a book. I challenged her, and was gaslight again and again that I was controlling. Neglected her for a few months after my dad died and I was depressed. I had a wake-up call. I requested a divorce. Now on social media, and among common friends she portraits me as abusive, below her standards, controlling and a liar. While I know it's not true, I have evidence saved, so I know what was factual. I looked after her to the point that I realized I was codependent. Not only emotionally, as she had difficult childhood, romantically and in bed, but also in materialistic way, funding her lifestyle, holidays, savings, photography school and equipment so she can start a business. I just see it so unfair the way I am portrayed. At the same time, I don't want to backlash on her, do the same stuff and post "oh look at poor me" posts. I want to get over it in the healthiest way possible. She has this cute girl attitude and looks and people just believe her. Now it comes to the point where she reposts things which suggest almost that it was her who ditched me. While the facts are I filled for divorce, organized lawyers and solicitors. I realized that those friends were not really friends, as no one from them contacted me to check how I feel or ask about my perspective. She portrays me as if I'm the bad because I divorced her. I'm in a therapy, but do you have your own tried and tested method how to get over it?
OP, you have evidence, right? So post all of them. Set her world on fire. She fired you from your job of protecting her, so dude, stop fucking protecting your cheating ex-wife. Don't even lie about it. But on the same note, don't let her lie about you. That is the great thing called evidence. That's what they're used for, to destroy lies. And in my opinion, it's always healthy to spread the truth. If you really want her to stop spreading lies about you, go talk to a lawyer, man. They can make it happen. Good luck. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.